Of about 30,000, a suburb of Chicago. That's a rapid gunfire yesterday when a shooter with a rifle perched on top of a building fired down on the crowd below at Highland Park's 4th of July parade. 6 people were killed, around 24 more are injured. Doug Marshall was at the parade.
Bam, 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 bam. And it seemed, for the first bunch of them, seemed like it was fireworks.
Left behind, fold-up chairs toppled over as people ran to get away from the gunfire, shoes left in the street, and American flags, what you would imagine at a 4th of July parade. 22-year-old Robert Cremo is in custody today, a person of interest in the shooting. He used multiple social media platforms. Law enforcement sources are telling ABC News his posts are part of the investigation. Kate Rappel was driving home when she saw Cremo being arrested.
He had a very smug look. He seemed to be very calm, cool, and collective.
The investigation here on this muggy morning filled with thunderstorms and rain overnight is only beginning. I'm Alex Stone in Highland Park, Illinois. Now with more news, here's Sherry Preston.
2 police officers in Philadelphia shot and wounded overnight, but are now out of the hospital following gunfire at that city's fireworks display. A sign of healing in Waukesha, Wisconsin. The 4th of July parade there, the first since a driver plowed his SUV into a Christmas parade, leaving 6 people dead.
I've seen lots of flags, lots of people, and we're really grateful to have this chance to come out again.
After more than 4 months of fighting, Russia has claimed full control over one of the 2 eastern provinces of Ukraine. The question is whether it has enough strength to complete the entire seizure of the Donbass region amid new signs of heavy military losses. You're listening to ABC News.
Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary. Oil keeps going up as the Russia conflict escalates. Get in on the next major oil boom now and help the U.S. with your patriotic investment that can potentially pay you monthly income for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you're an SEC accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. The U.S. government needs your investment in oil and is allowing you to write off nearly 100% of your investment in the first year. Goldman Sachs is projecting oil to go up to $100 a barrel. Call 800-278-7455. Call now and learn how to deduct 100% of your investment and create 20 or more years of potential monthly income. Call 800-278-7455. You'll be calling directly to the home office of Encore Energy. That's 800-278-7455.
The long holiday weekend turning into some long waits for a lot of travelers at airports across the country. More than 9 million people going through airports over the weekend, according to the TSA. And while more than 2,200 flights were canceled and thousands more delayed, those numbers were actually down compared to recent weeks. America today will honor 4 heroes.
President Biden will award the Medal of Honor to the soldiers for their heroism in Vietnam. Among those who will receive the honor, Specialist Dwight Birdwell, who took enemy fire to his face and torso, but managed to get his commander to safety and disrupt the enemy assault.
What a way to celebrate the 4th. Save my fellow servicemen. I did it twice. Went into an enemy held village at night, couldn't see. The only light was illumination from the enemy fire.
He'll be joined by Major John Duffy and Specialist Dennis Fuji. Staff Sergeant Edward Kane Shiro will be honored posthumously. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
Heavy rains across several states setting off flooding. Parts of southern Arkansas getting 10 inches of rain in a matter of hours. Flash flooding also hitting Montana hard. In Australia, 50,000 people in and around Sydney have gotten evacuation orders after days of heavy rains. And a monsoon hitting Pakistan is blamed for at least 9 deaths. Drone searches are back underway in northern Italy for 13 hikers still missing after a large part of a glacier broke loose over the weekend. This is ABC News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Feel like you're on a never-ending treadmill, staying in one place and never getting ahead with those minimum payments? You feel like there's no way out? Get off the endless debt treadmill and start saving money each month. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get debt-free in months instead of decades. Call Total Financial now at 800-208-1312. 800-208-1312.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
It's the time of year to come to NC Tractor for the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors and Bobcat zero-turn mowers. NC Tractor gives fantastic customer service, the best discounts possible, and it's a locally owned business. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue is helping to make outdoor work more enjoyable. Should you have something that you can be proud of for a long time? Massey Ferguson and Bobcat zero-turn mowers. Come look them over. 299 Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton. That phone number is 288-0395.
For a lot of us, it's back to work today after the long July 4th holiday weekend, and it's going to be a hot one, humid as well, the high in the low 90s, and probably only a 20 to 30% chance for a storm popping up later today. If we do see any develop, they'll last into the early evening hours, partly cloudy overnight with a low in the low to mid 70s. I think Wednesday we have a better chance for showers and thunderstorms coming in from the northwest later in the afternoon. Some of these strong may be severe, mid 90s the highs. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
And we have thunderstorms in our forecast all the way through Sunday. It looks like right now those passing thunderstorms that pop up and last about 15, 20, 30 minutes, and they're out of here with some rain. Today looks like we have about 50% chance of rain, and those highs around 90 with the heat index around 98. So look for some pop-up thunder showers most every afternoon this week. Now I have these death announcements. Amy Williams, 68, of Rutherfordton, died Monday, July 4th. Arrangements are incomplete at this time and will be announced by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service for Amy T. Williams. William Paul Thompson, age 96, of Forest City, died Friday, July 1st at the Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. Funeral services will be held Tuesday, July 5th, today at 3 o'clock at the Paget King Chapel. Burial will follow in the Smith Grove Baptist Church Cemetery, and military honors will be accorded by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. The family will receive friends from 1:30 until 2:45 prior to the service. The Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements. Online guest registry available at pagetking.com for William Paul Thompson. Aya Sunshine Hornback of Rutherfordton died Sunday, June 26th. Memorial services conducted by the family will be held at a later date, and Mike Van's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for Aya Sunshine Hornback, infant daughter of Alexander Phillips and Sarah Hornback. John Jack Larkins, age 82, of Rutherfordton, died Friday, July 1st at his residence. A memorial service will be held at a later date, and guest registry available at MikeVansFuneralHome.com for John Jack Larkins. James Robert Early, age 90, of Rutherfordton, passed away Thursday, June 30th at Accordia's Health in Rutherford. The family will receive friends from 10 until 11 at Mike Vahan's Funeral Home. The celebration of life will be held at 11 o'clock today at Mike Vahan's Funeral Home Chapel. Burial will follow the service at Rutherfordton City Cemetery with military honors provided by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. Mike Vahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for James Robert Early. Benjamin H. Ben Bridges, age 64, of Forest City, died Monday, June 27th. The memorial service for Ben will be held at 4 o'clock on Thursday, July 7th, in the Paget and King Chapel, with a visitation from 3 until 4 prior to the service at the mortuary. The Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Benjamin H. Ben Bridges. Rachel Metcalf Summy, 94, of Rutherfordton, passed away Monday, June 27th. The memorial service will be held 2:30 Saturday, July 9th at Spindale United Methodist Church. The family will receive friends following the service, and Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Rachel Metcalf Summy. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For complete information on these and others as they become available to us, be sure to tune in this morning at 11:35, and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB in Rutherfordton. It's time now for the Bill O'Reilly Morning Update.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. But first, many timeshare owners are very upset because their yearly dues have nearly doubled. Well, Lone Star will guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. With their A-plus rating at the Better Business Bureau, clients know that Lone Star Transfer is a company you could trust. For a free consultation, please go to LoneStarTransfer.com or call 855-551-7066. On this Tuesday, June was a bad month for working people. Little good happened as the Biden administration sinks deeper into the quicksand of disenchantment. My investment guy informed me the O'Reilly portfolio fell 4% in June. That's hard-earned money evaporating, not Hunter Biden assets. But I can ride out the drop. I know others can't. It is difficult to fathom how disastrous Joe Biden has been as president. The guy was a senator for decades and VP under Obama, as we all know. Now he's an incompetent leader who doesn't understand the problems that he himself has created. The 53 migrants near San Antonio who died from suffocating heat while trapped inside a truck had no idea that Biden created their pathway to death. A chaotic border policy kills. So do no bail laws, as does radical leftists torching pro-life centers. Where is Joe Biden on any of that? Nowhere. He won't even go down to the border. There comes a time when every person is confronted with a mistake. That huge era is Joe Biden and the 80 million folks who supported him, owing the 74 million who voted against him an apology. That will not soothe the sting of economic pain, but at least it would be something. Now this. AMAC is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization. AMAC gives you access to exclusive benefits, insightful news, and a magazine full of uncensored content. They are pushing back against efforts to defund the police, weaken the borders, and corrupt our youth. But they need your help. Please stand with AMAC at amac.us. That's amac.us. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
Get news, sports, weather, and local streaming from our website at www.wcab59.com. WCAB, the only radio station you should ever need.
Have you noticed lately how empty everything is? Empty streets, empty stores, empty schools. But I'm trying to change these empty times by being full of gratitude. Gratitude means saying thanks to the garbage collector, the medical providers, and all those who are helping every day. Things may appear empty around us, but when we're filled with gratitude, nothing is completely empty inside us. Gratitude is in you. From PassItOn.com.
Jesse Evans was born in Missouri, but he left that state at an early age to head out west to Texas and later New Mexico. Although he worked for a while as a cowboy for John Chisholm, he eventually turned to outlawry, organizing a band of rustlers that at one time even had Billy the Kid as a member. For a while, he was involved in the Lincoln County War, but things got too hot and he returned to Texas, continuing his outlaw ways. On July 3, 1880, Jesse Evans and 3 of his gang members were being pursued by a small patrol of Texas Rangers headed by Sergeant Ed Syker. Hoping to lose the Rangers through a ruse, Jesse Evans and his boys headed for the Mexican border, leaving behind clues to that effect. But just before crossing the border, they turned and headed toward a hideout in the nearby mountains. But the Rangers weren't fooled, and the Evans gang and the Rangers engaged in a 2-mile running battle. With the Evans gang taking cover behind rocks, the Rangers dismounted and charged them on foot. During the shootout, one of the gang members was killed and the others surrendered. After the gang was taken into custody, it was discovered that Texas Ranger George Bingham was also shot and killed. Jesse Evans was tried and sentenced to 10 years in prison, but a short time later, Evans escaped from a work gang, never to be heard from again. When Sergeant Syker, the man who led the arrest of the Evans gang, was told about Jesse's escape, he was heard to say, "I should have killed them all." You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
When your taste buds are screaming for delicious, head over to Jesse James Railroad Express. Enjoy fresh-cooked burgers, garden salads, hot dogs any way you like, French fries. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. They're open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 4, closed Wednesday and Sunday. That's Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Ruth. Call ahead, 828-447-4644. And Mondays only, hot dogs with mustard, chili, and onions, only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
All right, it's time now to get caught up on what's been happening around the neighborhood over this holiday weekend. And we're on the phone right now with Sheriff Chris Francis to give us that update. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I trust you had a great Independence Day.
Had a really good one. I'm not going to lie to you, sir. Not going to lie to you.
Good. What's on the report today?
During the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded 117 calls for service. There have been 10 arrests processed in county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 205. Among those arrested, Ronnie Keith Davis, 48-year-old male of Rutherford, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear felony, 2 counts of failure to appear misdemeanor, resist or obstruct delay, received a $15,000 secure bond. Christopher James Hurt, 33-year-old male of Boston, was charged with assault on a female. We'll see district court judge for bond. Jennifer Nicole Whitley, 43-year-old female, was charged with resist or obstruct delay and received a $500 unsecured bond. Cecil Lee Henson Jr., 55-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with probation violation and resist or obstruct delay and received a $7,500 secured bond. Michael Wayne King, 41-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with communicating threats and assault law enforcement officers with a firearm, received no bond, and further charges are pending in that incident. Among our incidents, we had a uttering counterfeit money. There were 3 businesses in Chimney Rock area. It appears like this money, false money, were $20 bills and they were passed on Saturday. That was at Mountain Traders, Featherheads, and Chimney Rock Harley Davidson. Seems like small items were purchased, and the suspect received change at each of those locations. We had a B&E in larceny, Pine Mountain Church Road in Boston. Looks like it was to a building. There was $200 in U.S. currency that was taken. We had a B&E in larceny on Sunset Memorial Road. Forest City was a black toolbox, 4x4, had Ryobi drill, Craftsman wrench set, miscellaneous tools that was taken in that incident. We had looks like a larceny on Cove Road where 2 weed eaters, a Shoemaker battery, and charger, and some car parts, including an alternator and hand tools, were taken. And we also had the assault on law enforcement officers communicating threats there on Byers Road in Forest City. Last night, the deputies responded at approximately 8:30 p.m. to 371 Byers Road. Michael Wayne King confronted law enforcement officers, went inside his residence, and came out with what was believed to be a shotgun, firing at the deputies. Deputies returned fire, but no one was hit on either side. We were able to talk him out of the house and get him to surrender shortly thereafter with, again, no further injuries. I believe he might have sustained a small cut. There was a lot of broken glass, but he was treated on the scene by EMS and then taken to the sheriff's office for processing. Again, we'll be confirmed with the district attorney's office today for future charges on Michael Wayne King, who did shoot at law enforcement last night. But that's why I had to get Independence Day, because no deputy was hurt, and his injuries were minor. So we were blessed for sure. Get him in custody. Great police work without any further injuries. Jim, that's what we had to report today.
Well, you think some folks would finally learn that you don't shoot at police officers and live to tell it?
Well, I just said there was a good bit of alcohol involved last night, and I'm sure he wasn't thinking good, but that doesn't help us much. Puts all of our lives at risk and at danger.
Yeah, well, I'm glad the officers were not hurt. Sheriff, I appreciate you telling us the stories on what's been happening around the county the past few days, and I hope you have a safe day today.
Thank you, sir, and take care.
See you now. Bye-bye. Sheriff Chris Francis reporting from the Sheriff's Department this morning.
New Fabulous Fortune is only for the bold. In my kingdom, we understand bold, like jousting. Rather bold, consuming 3 giant turkey legs. Very bold. And Fabulous Fortune, with the best odds to win $300 and a top prize of $3 million. Totally bold. Fabulous Fortune from the North Carolina Education Lottery. May thy boldness be rewarded. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.14. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
We're being kind today to Sherry Hageman of the Grace of God Rescue Mission. She helps run that place down there. She had a birthday yesterday, but we want to honor her today. Sherry Hageman, Grace of God Rescue Mission, having a birthday. Had one yesterday. We're honoring her today. Here's Jessica now reporting from 911 Communication. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
What's on the report?
In the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 470 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 52 EMS calls. Law enforcement Sheriff's Office had 117, Forest City 50, Lake Lure 15, Rutherford 34, Stendale 42. Fire calls, Bostic responded to a fire alarm, Forest City responded to 2 fire alarms, and Spindale responded to a vehicle accident assisted by Rutherfordton, and that's all we've got.
Thanks so much, Jessica. You have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Jim, have you seen Henson Building Materials' newly remodeled showroom? It's gorgeous.
You mean where they have a full line of hardware and building materials for homeowners and home builders?
I mean where Jamie, Terry, and Tony, their friendly staff, treat me like family. Oh, they're so nice.
Hey, are they taking COVID precautions and have curbside service?
Of course. They're so thoughtful.
I do need some materials, but I don't think they'll fit in our car.
Oh, silly. They have professional delivery so we can get whatever I want.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street in Forest City.
Building starts here.
And here's Ruby Taylor reporting from Danieltown, the SDO fire coverage. Good morning.
Good morning.
Did you have a good holiday yesterday?
I did. I worked.
Yeah, that's a good way to spend it.
Doing this, that, and the other.
Well, that's good. You stayed busy.
Yep, I stay busy.
What's on the report?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls. And on my birthday calendar, I've got Karen Webb, Karen Russell, and Tim Marr having birthdays. And I hope all these people have a nice day. And the signs are in the rains today and tomorrow. And that's all I got, Jim.
I did the same thing you did yesterday. I worked about all day. And,
well, I mean, I can't sit. I'm a person. I can't stay. I got to do something.
Yeah, that's good, though.
And also...
Keeps you young.
Yep. It keeps your legs and all going, too.
That's exactly right. Well, have a good day, Ruby. I'll see you next time.
You too.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
We're heading up now to Fairfield Mountains Fire District, and Gary Wilson is reporting from there. Good morning, Gary. How are you doing? Whoops. Guess he's not there after all. We hung up or got cut off somewhere. We'll get back in touch with Gary Wilson up at Fairfield Mountains.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Now we have Gary Wilson back. He's on the phone now with us from the Fairfield Mountains Fire District in Bills Creek community. Good morning, Gary. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good, Jim. I'm tired, but doing all right. How you doing?
Did you work last night and have to work some?
Yeah, we was down here at the fire department from about 10 this morning to about 10:30 last night, I guess. And I spent the night at my daughter's house, so I wouldn't have to drive, and come on back down here this morning. And our fireworks got rained out last night. It come a downpour, storm right in the middle of it. Right?
Really?
Just about the time it was getting ready to start.
Oh, my goodness.
It was dark and cloudy and lightning, and it just wasn't safe to do it. And then it started pouring rain, and we couldn't have done it anyway. So they're going to reschedule the fireworks to Labor Day, from what I understand.
Yeah, that's a good time for it.
Yep. We'll just have to wait and do it then. But we had a good crowd in here all day yesterday. It was a busy day. It was hot, though. It was hot and humid here yesterday. And we had a couple of, two calls, I believe, during the day yesterday, medical calls, and everything else went along pretty good. And everybody stayed busy, took care of everybody, and took care of the place. And I think everybody got out here in one piece. That's
Good.
the main thing.
That's the main thing.
And that's about all we got, Jim. Everything's pretty quiet right now this morning.
All right, good. I'm glad everybody's safe, and I appreciate you being with us, and you have a great day. Get some rest, and I'll see you next time.
All right, Jim. We'll see you then.
Thank you. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. And we're going, we're going over to Bostic now. Bostic Fire Department District, and talk with DeVern Upton and see what kind of action they've had over there in Bostic last few hours. And here she is now. Good morning, DeVern. How are you doing?
Good morning. Did you have a good 4th?
I did. I worked outside about all day and did some hard labor work in the flower beds. So I ready for bed last night.
I guarantee you.
Did you have a good day?
Yeah, we sure did.
Good.
We did. Well, over here in Boston, we have a temperature of 73 degrees. The fire department responded to a fire alarm. And go by and check out the drop-in store here on Boston Sunshine Highway. Check their meats out and also the deli. They have some delicious gravy and biscuits. And don't forget to take your kids out to our Bostic Park and enjoy it. They have shelters there that you can have a picnic under. And hope everyone has a wonderful and safe day.
All right, you too, DeVern. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Here's a question for you. Are you uninsured or have a high deductible plan? Brock Family Care may be the right fit for you and your family. Brock Family Care offers a membership plan of $75 a month, and that includes unlimited visits, 2 sets of complete labs per year, 1 annual physical exam including an EKG, even house calls as appropriate. This seems to be the answer to put an end to complications with medical care and insurance plans. To learn more, call or visit the website at www.brockfamilycare.com. That phone number is 828-382-7282. Let's say good morning to Bob Hodge over in the Hudlow Fire District. Good morning, Bob.
Well, good morning there. Day after 4th of July here.
Yeah, did anybody shoot any fireworks around your house to keep you awake last night?
Oh, I sat on the porch and watched some beautiful fireworks last night in the neighborhood. We had neighborhood fireworks going on around, and so I sat on the porch and watched them last night. So
that's a good thing.
Yeah. But everything went off just fine, and with the fire department, we had one call yesterday afternoon to a tree down, and then last night we hadn't had any fire calls during the night, so that's good. And a little foggy up here this morning, but it's beginning to lift a little out here right now. So
yeah, I saw some fog go through a while ago.
Look like it's going to be another warm day, though. We need some rain up here. We've missed them thunderstorms over the weekend up here, so But a lot of people got rain. Looked like Saturday, Friday and Saturday down the lower end of the county there.
Yeah, we got some of that rain. It was really good. Good steady rain. It rained heavy at times, and the wind blew and some thunder and lightning. But it was good. We needed it.
Yeah, we need some up our way up here, 'cause we hadn't had any of them thunderstorms so far. So, but it's been all around us. It's come within a mile or so of the house and then stops.
You may have to move, Bob.
Well, I don't know. Or start paying the preacher more one. Yeah.
You'll get your share.
Yeah, we'll get it later. But, Jim, that's about it up here. And so far this morning, things are running along good, and maybe we'll have a quiet day and up here. And you take care now, and you have a good day.
I will, Bob. You too, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And we're being kind today to Sherry Hageman. She works there at the Grace of God Rescue Mission. She had a birthday yesterday. We're honoring her today. Give a big shout-out to Sherry Hageman today. If you know her, let her know you're thinking about her, because let her celebrate 2 days in a row. July 4th celebration and July 5th. She'll accept that.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Let's check in with Sue Price now over at the Cherry Mountain Fire District, see how things went over the weekend. And she stayed awake last night listening to fireworks. Sue, good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
Fireworks shooting around you last night?
I really didn't hear anything, Jim. It's first for 4th of July that I hadn't heard of fireworks. But anyway, I guess everybody had a good weekend. It's been nice. We got a lot of rain Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, so that was good.
Yeah.
Finally got rain.
Good.
And as far as I know, the fire department's been quiet, and I don't have a single birthday or anniversary on either one of my calendars for today, so nobody that I know celebrating, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day today and enjoy it. And in my announcements, the Golden Valley Community Club will meet July 18th. We meet at 7 o'clock. We'll start with a covered dish meal and then have our business meeting, and everyone's welcome. We need some new members to get involved in the community club. We always have a good time and just enjoy it, getting together with people. So far, that's the only announcement I have. It's just quiet and calm over here, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Thanks, Sue. I will, and you too, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Cherry Mountain nice and quiet over the weekend. It's 7:33. The Rutherfordton Police Department is asking for help locating missing person Aleson Dorothy Wilson, 56-year-old white female. Ms. Wilson is 5 foot tall, approximately 195 pounds, blue eyes with dirty blonde hair. She was last seen on June 1st, 2022. Anyone with information, please contact Sergeant Martin with the Rutherfordton Police Department at 828-287-5062, extension 6. Again, it's a 56-year-old white female, 5 foot tall, approximately 195 pounds, blue eyes with blonde hair, last seen June 6th. They would like your help in helping locate this lady. Right, here's Tina White now up in Shingle Hollow Fire District. Good morning, Tina.
Good morning, Jim.
You doing well?
I am doing good this morning. Watched some fireworks last night over at South Mountain Christian Camp, and it was actually Donnie and Lisa Houck's house, but you can see them from the campground, and man, they were beautiful.
Yeah.
But up in Shingle Hollow this morning, it is 72 degrees, and the fire department had a call yesterday to clean some drains out on a bridge on Freemantown Road, so they were there for a while. And for the birthday and anniversary calendar, we have Mr. and Mrs. Richard and Charity Weinberger have an anniversary. And on my personal calendar, I have a little cousin who turns 10 today, Miss Peyton Smith, and I bet she's probably listening. So happy birthday, Peyton.
Happy birthday, Peyton.
And for Bible school, we have Mountain Creek Baptist Church is having Bible school, Vacation Bible School, July 10th through the 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. And if you need a ride, the van can pick you up for Vacation Bible School there, and it is 287-7159 that you could call them and let them know by Saturday, July 9th, so that they can help you. And again, that number is 287-7159. And Piney Knob Baptist Church is having Vacation Bible School kickoff this Saturday, the 9th, from 11 to 1. And then their Bible school starts on Monday, the 11th, and goes through the 15th from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. So next week's Bible school week in our area.
Must be summertime.
It's summertime, yes. Just look at the temperature gauge. And Shingle Hollow finally had some rain yesterday. I didn't get a measurement, but it was a good shower at our house.
Good.
We thank God for that. Maybe we finally paid the preacher enough.
I hope so.
Well, Jim, I hope you have a wonderful day, and God bless you. Stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
That sounds good. I'll see you then.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's Tina reporting out of Shingle Hollow. Joe also reports for Green Hill Fire District as well. It's 7:35.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Well, the Braves start a series with the Cardinals tonight. Braves versus Cardinals. At 6:05 when they go with a pregame, and we'll be joining that pregame at some point in the game. You won't miss a thing by staying tuned to 100.9 FM, 590 AM for the Braves throughout the season. Now let's head toward the Union Mills area. See if we can find Brenda Kelly. Brenda, good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this terrific Tuesday after the 4th?
I wish I had another 4th of July to celebrate.
Well, maybe next year you will.
I hope so.
We can look forward to Labor Day now, can't we?
That's the next one, isn't it?
Yep. It don't take them long to roll by, does it?
Well, I tell you, it doesn't. Did you hear fireworks last night?
No, I didn't, but I did Sunday night. It rained here. I don't know if we had a good shower, and I don't know what Bob's doing that he ain't getting no rain, but he needs to come up off of that pocketbook and put some more money in the offering plate so he can have some rain. But we had a good shower yesterday, and I'm like Tina. I was so thankful for it because we've been dry. We've had 2 little old showers that didn't even get wet under the trees, so I don't count them. But now this one yesterday, it rained real good. It rained for about, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes, and it was getting close to dark, so that may have been why I didn't hear no fireworks, or they may have done shot them all off Sunday night. I don't know, but now I did hear them Sunday night. I haven't seen any. I was going to watch that on the up at Washington, D.C. I was going to watch that, but I lost interest in it. I went to bed.
Yeah, they've put so many things around the actual things you don't really care about, and some wild music I don't care about, so I didn't stay up either. I had enough fireworks around my house to keep me awake. So
They ought to know that you had to get up early and be at the radio station.
they were still shooting fireworks at 12 o'clock.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
people really celebrating.
Yeah, they started early before dark, and then throughout the evening. Of course, my dog don't like fireworks at all.
Yeah,
So,
most dogs don't.
Yeah.
There was a text sent out yesterday to the members of the church, and of course I don't get it because I don't have computer or cell phone. But my daughter gets it on her phone, and Dick McCallum had fell off of a fire truck yesterday and was at the emergency room.
No way.
So I don't know if they're back home or if it was somewhere else or what. But yeah, and I wanted to let you know that because I know he's one of your friends.
Fell off a fire truck.
That's what they said.
Was it in a parade, maybe?
I don't know. I don't know, but that's all I know. He was at, and I've not heard anything else. So.
I sure hope he's going to be all right.
Yeah,
Dick
and then we had another one of our members at the emergency room with chest pain, so we had to do a lot of praying.
Wow, good gracious.
Yeah, well, let's see, I've got 70 degrees on the front porch today. I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries and ways of announcements. Gilkey School Community Center will have a buffet breakfast. This will be July the 9th, starting at 7 a.m. and going to 10 a.m. And adults is $8. Kids 6 to 12 is $3. Kids 5 and under are free. And money goes to help support the community center. So far, that's all I know of that's going on. And I won't be here till I'll be back on the radio Saturday morning.
Rest of the week you're gone.
Yeah, I'm going to be gone the rest of the week. I'm waiting now for my daughter to get here.
I don't know if we can bear up under this or not.
Oh, yeah. You've done it before. You'll make it.
Yeah, I know, but it's hard on us. It's hard on us.
And I want to wish Sherry a happy birthday. You said it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Sherry Hageman.
Yeah.
Her and Terry both are fine people. I've known them. Her mother was at the home years ago, and that's when I got to know them, and they're real fine people. So
They really are. Terry and Sherry both are great people.
that's right, and I hope she has a great old big day today. She can just celebrate all week.
You have
Nothing
a
wrong
safe
with
trip
that.
and enjoy yourself, and we'll look forward to having you back. You'll be back, say, on Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be back here Saturday.
Well, have a good time. Be careful.
Okay, catch you later.
See ya. Bye. That's Union Mills reporting in. Brenda Kelly, 742 now. We'll get over to Ellenboro next.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? Hi, I'm Andrew Tisdale, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. When we work together, we focus what's important to you. We create a personalized strategy backed by our advice, our tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we partner together to help your strategy stay on track no matter what happens. Contact me at any time at 828-287-9197. We'll sit down, talk, and we're going to make a strategy that's right for you.
And Lender will be here in the Blue Room this morning a little after 8 o'clock to talk more about how to get us through this economic inflationary time with investing. Now let's head over toward Ellenboro. Luther Gilligan, good morning to you.
Good morning, you two. Nice day down here this morning.
You sleep good over the holiday?
I slept good. I have a good time. Sleep good whenever.
Good, good, good.
I've been known to go to sleep walking down the road.
Well, that's not too good now. That's not. You better get run over.
Well, it was about 3:30 in the morning.
No. I
Wasn't a
understand
whole
you.
lot of traffic there.
I understand you sleep through preaching on Sundays.
I sleep better on Sunday morning than I do any other time. Just hear the good music and the good word and just ease on off.
Yep.
Like one time somebody said, well, did you enjoy the message? You heard half of it. Slept through the other half. But hey, we're having a good time here. It's quiet this morning. Nothing going on. Well, not now. They had a wreck this morning about 5:30 out on the bypass, but got it cleared off. Now they sitting around drinking coffee trying to get woke up. They said they had 2 medical calls yesterday. Other than that, they're quiet this morning. That's going on with them. Just not a whole lot going on down here. Everybody just getting their gas and heading on out to work. So, yeah, nothing happening. You have a great day up there. We'll see what happens today and tell you about it tomorrow.
Thanks for keeping us informed. I'll see you then. Be careful over there.
Take care now.
Bye. Well, it's time for birthdays and anniversaries here on this 5th day of July 5th, and we'll take your birthday anniversary. We had one yesterday. We'll take that one too. 7:45 right now. Call that in to us, 287-3356. And let's see who is celebrating birthdays today. Meanwhile, Granny B's would invite you to come by and have meals with them. Now, they do breakfast Tuesday through Saturday. They close on Mondays, of course. Yesterday was a holiday. They would have been closed anyway, but when you have a chance to do something different for your taste, be sure to go by Granny B's and enjoy their lunch menu with those subs, and you can get any kind, fixed any way you like it. Wheat bread's delicious, and they got great sweet tea. The breakfast is outstanding. I just can't say enough about Granny B's. So have a meal with them whenever you can. Maybe make it this week sometime. And when you need your clothes looking good, freshened up and pressed up looking good, take them to Folks Cleaners. They're in the Rockwood Plaza. They do a superb job on shirts and uniforms and pants and sweaters and blazers, whatever you got. It needs cleaned or pressed. Storing away some stuff for the winter time and haven't done that yet, haven't cleaned, put in there. They'll be glad to clean that up for you. And drive up window. You don't even have to get out of the car. Just drive up to the window, and they'll take care of that for you. Folk Cleaners, good folks to do business with. 7:46, and we want you to go by the Drop-In Family Mart there in Bostic whenever you have an opportunity to do something different for yourself and your groceries. They always have a great selection of fresh produce over there. You'll be surprised how fresh their produce is. Comes in weekly, and they would love for you to give them a try. If you've never been to Drop-In, give them a try. I think you'll become a fan as well, like many others. If you like fresh meat, they got a fresh meat market. It's not always when you go into a convenience store you find a fresh meat market, but they got one there in Bostic at the fresh counter back there, fresh meat counter. They'll slice it, cut it up any way you want it to be cut up. Plus the deli, you can have breakfast over there and lunch over there. It's just an all-around perfect store to be in our community. We're glad they're here. Drop-In Family Mart there in Bostic on the Bostic Sunshine Highway.
Happy birthday.
We're being kind to Sherry Hageman today. Welcome to Grace of God Rescue Mission. She had a birthday yesterday. We're being kind to her today. Eddie Bridges is 66 today. Want to wish Eddie a happy. And Ruth Calvert over in Forest City is also having a birthday today. So congratulations to these folks. In 1810, P.T. Barnum, circus promoter, was born. 1950, Huey Lewis, musician, was born. Some of the events on this day include 1643, first recorded tornado in U.S. 1841, Thomas Cook opens first travel agency. 1865, U.S. Secret Service began operating under the Treasury Department. 1937, Spam, the luncheon meat, is introduced to the market. We had Spam lately. 1946, bikini swimwear debuts at the Paris Fashion Show. 1950, U.S. entered combat in North Korea for the first time. 1954, on this date, Elvis Presley's first professional recording session take place in Memphis. He recorded "That's All Right, Baby." Todd Gilbert's having a birthday today, so Todd, happy birthday to you. National Apple Turnover Day. Yes, I can go there. National Bikini Day. National Graham Cracker Day. I love those. National Hawaii Day. And National Workaholic Day. Well, that's me, I guess. So now you're up to date on this date in history here on WCAB. Keys to Confident Living up next. Andrew Tisdale, top of the hour. News from here and there with the shows report again next hour.
Senator Strom Thurmond explained why Congress has difficulty in decreasing deficit spending. He says, it's awfully hard to get a hog to butcher itself. Aha, the secret is out. But that secret is not only true for the Congress, but also for us. That is one of the reasons why New Year's resolutions fail. We are trying to do it by ourselves, to ourselves. We're trying to butcher ourselves. Reform like repentance means for us to turn away from something. Often with resolutions, we are planning to eliminate a bad habit in our life. That involves giving up something we secretly enjoy or at least find difficult to do without. A case in point is the weekly Monday morning diet that dies before Tuesday's lunch hour arrives. Sunday night, we're puffed up with pride and confident that come Monday morning, we will start losing a bazillion pounds. By Tuesday, we're convinced it was a dumb idea, and we just can't do it. We have every excuse in the world as to why. Resolutions can be made at any time. At any time, we can resolve to change and do better. But where do we get the strength and the willpower to do it? Successful addiction recovery programs focus on the notion that we needed the help of a higher power. There's a definitive recognition that we can't do it alone. Just as a hog can't butcher itself, neither is it easy for us to improve ourselves by ourselves. We need help. The Lord has promised to provide that help if we but ask Him. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
I've been handed this note. The Rutherfordton Little League 11-12 District 1 are champions, and the sponsorship donations opportunities for you. Please consider helping these 11, 12-year-old boys in getting to their state tournament in Rocky Mount starting July 9th. All sponsorships and donations will go towards supporting lodging, food, gas, and any other needs for these boys. They have worked tirelessly to make it this far and would appreciate your support. That's quite a record for them, 11, 12-year-old North Carolina District 1 champions. Please make your checks payable to Rutherfordton Little League, and it is a tax ID number, a group exemption number. You can take that off as a tax write-off. Thank you for your gracious donation to these youth and supporting their journey to the state tournament coming up this month. So if you can help out anyway, please do that. Again, make the checks payable to Rutherfordton Little League Incorporated and help support these boys to win some games.
Like how we respond can make all the difference in the world as to how far the argument will go.
Starts out all over again.
Robert Thornton recalls one of his parents' verbal disagreements. He doesn't remember it as being a major blow-up, but all of a sudden his father jumped up from the table, went and got 2 sheets of paper, and returned suggesting that the two of them start listing all the things they didn't like about each other. Robert's mom started writing first, and his dad just scowled. Then his dad quickly jotted down something on his paper, and the wife quickly responded. This tit-for-tat writing went on for a few minutes. When the papers were finally exchanged, the mom quickly asked for her paper to be returned. She felt she had been tricked. Rather than what his wife thought her husband had been writing, he had actually written down, "I love you," each time she wrote something. All the way down his paper were the words, "I love you." How many quarrels have gotten out of hand because we jumped too quickly to conclusions or let someone lead us down a path of arguing? We responded in ways we really didn't like. How we respond can make all the difference in the world as to how far the argument will go. The Bible says, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." Be alert today so that you respond with words that calm a situation rather than with harshness that adds fuel to the fire. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
Get news, sports, weather, and local streaming from our website
In Highland Park, Illinois, ABC's Alex Perez is there.
Chaos and shock. Panicked spectators frantically trying to race to safety.
I just looked back at my dad, and right behind him, this girl just fell in cold blood.
Parents is scrambling to nearby buildings for cover.
6 people were killed, more than 24 others taken to local hospitals. ABC's Alex Stone is on the scene.
All around me here along what was a parade route, there are signs of what unfolded yesterday, frozen in time. There are fold-up chairs, lawn chairs that are toppled over. There's one right in front of me that is a pink child's chair. There is a stroller that has been collapsed, like people ran over it or pushed it to the side when they were trying to get out of here. The gunfire ringing around this area as people were running to get away.
Police say the gunman climbed atop a building downtown and fired into the crowd from above. Independence Day fireworks canceled in Akron, Ohio, following the police-involved fatal shooting of Jayland Walker, the 25-year-old black man shot by officers while running away from a traffic stop. Bobby DiCello is an attorney for Walker's family.
It was an unreasonable use of force when they unloaded over 90 rounds in his direction, striking him over 60 times.
Protesters took to the streets after police body cam video was released. The officers involved are now on paid administrative leave. Brittany Griner has sent a handwritten letter to President Biden telling him she is terrified she might be in a Russian prison forever. The WNBA Stars team released only a few excerpts saying the entire correspondence is for President Biden's eyes only. A Long Island lifeguard training his team for shark attacks was bitten over the weekend himself.
It is ironic that I was playing a victim and then I actually became a victim.
Zach Gallo is okay. Minor injuries on his hand and chest. He got away by punching the shark. You're listening to ABC News.
The National Institutes of Health has launched the Recover Initiative to research the long-term effects of COVID-19. Dr. Gary H. Gibbons, director of the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute.
And this initiative is seeking to understand long COVID as a means of understanding the risk factors, as well as the options to prevent and treat it more effectively.
To better understand who may get long COVID and how to prevent and treat it, NIH is seeking volunteers who have and have not had COVID-19, including people of all races, ethnicities, genders, and ages, and those who are pregnant. Dr. Walter Koroshetz, director of the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke.
We know that different populations were affected differently by COVID. And so understanding the differences in different populations is critically important if we're going to come to solutions for people that are going to work for everybody.
To learn more and volunteer for a study near you, visit recovercovid.org.
NATO is a step closer to getting bigger.
Finland and Sweden completing NATO accession talks with representatives from the two nations signing the NATO accession protocols. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg.
This is truly an historic moment for Finland, for Sweden, and for NATO.
Completing this step means both Finland and Sweden formally confirm their willingness and ability to meet the political, legal, and military obligations and commitments of NATO membership. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, at the Foreign Desk.
North of Salt Lake City, a wildfire is burning that officials say was likely sparked by July 4th fireworks. People in about 100 homes put on notice that they might have to evacuate. Firefighters in Northern California fighting a wildfire that broke out east of Sacramento. That blaze stranding dozens of people celebrating the 4th at a recreational area. And high over our heads,
it's the latest step in NASA's plan to land astronauts on the lunar surface again. The Capstone satellite was launched last week from New Zealand by the company Rocket Lab in one of their small electron rockets. It will take 4 months to reach the moon as it cruises along using minimal energy. Rocket Lab's head calls it absolutely epic and relatively cheap, only about $32 million. The satellite's to orbit the moon and send back vital information. Eventually, NASA plans to put a space station called Gateway into moon orbit. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
Big news. Greta Van Susteren is back, and she's on Newsmax. Tune into Newsmax at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight to watch The Record with Greta Van Susteren and get the real news. Plus, check out the new lineup of Rob Schmidt, Eric Bowling, and more. Newsmax is on all major cable and streaming platforms. If your cable system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them and demand it. And download the free Newsmax app on your phone. Make the switch to Newsmax today.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
We are watching a ridge of high pressure in the upper atmosphere to develop over Arkansas. That's going to direct some greater heat our way and also perhaps direct some thunderstorms our way starting on Wednesday. Now, later this afternoon, the high in the low 90s. It's just an isolated thunderstorm possible, and if we do see any, they could last into the early evening. The low tonight in the low to mid 70s. Hotter for Wednesday. Right now, we're going to go mid 90s with a good chance for storms later in the day that could be strong. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
It's 73 degrees. It's cloudy out there. We may get some showers and thunderstorms later today. Looks like we have a chance of thunderstorms every day this week. So cheer, cheer, joy, joy. We need some rain, no clouds and thunderstorms. Highs around 90 today with the heat index around 98 today, dropping back to 71, about where we are right now. We're at 73 right now. Started out at 71. And it's a cloudy Tuesday, day after Independence Day. And in the Blue Room with me right now is Andrew Tisdale. He's the financial advisor with Edward Jones, making sense of investing, and he didn't have any fingers blown off with shooting fireworks last night, so he comes in safe and sound this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, Elliot, he was the lighter of the fireworks last night. He did good.
Yeah,
he did good.
It's fun with family to get around and blow some fireworks out.
That's right.
Blow some money away.
That's exactly right. That actually was what I was wondering about. But Elliot and his granddaddy Mike decided that they would treat us, so that was their money.
That's good. That's good.
And then, of course, you kind of wonder, okay, Elliot, how'd you get that money? But he does cut grass, so
Yeah,
that was
good.
Proud of him. He's at least he saved up to blow it up. He saved his money to blow it up.
That's good. There you go.
Right.
He must have had some good financial advice from somebody he knows.
Somebody asked me, that's what you just egging me on. You said you knew what I was going to talk about today. Is my money getting blown up or not?
Go ahead, talk to him.
So what we are going to talk about today is stock market crashes. So is there going to be a stock market crash in 2022? Well, a lot of the investors, a lot of the experts are saying that we are in a slow crash right now, but here's how they get this idea. Now, this is not Andrew's wisdom, it's just actually facts. If we look at the peak it was in January to where we are now, we're well below 20%. And if we want to compare that to other stock market crashes, yeah, we've experienced it. We're there. So is there a stock market crash? It's there. It's there. And what is exactly a stock market crash? Well, let's kind of go through our history. One is the Great Depression in 1929. In just over a few days, the Dow Jones average actually dropped nearly 25%, and actually after a long period of time, it actually dropped down 50%. There was a stock market crash in 1987 when the market lost over 22.5% just on one Monday, Black Monday. September 11th, 2001. That was a stock market crash. We all remember that. If we were alive during that time, that's when they hit the World Trade Center. And a lot of people reference what we're going through right now and try to say, is this another 2008 recession? The Dow Jones lost more than 50% of its value in a really short time. And then we just actually went through a crash. Not too long ago, in 2020, there was the March of 2020, was the COVID-19 crash of all that. If you notice, the numbers keep saying over 20%, over 20%, over 20%. Now, what do I do? Okay, there's two people that is getting affected by this. There's the people that's trying to build their wealth to be able to live off of it. And then there's people that's trying to live off of it. And they're saying, I've just lost 20% of my income. What am I supposed to do? Well, let's just go back in history. Number one, remember this. We've already been through this. Just recently. We went through this back in March of 2020. We've been through this in 2008. Back in the Great Depression, guess what? It came back. The stock market crash of 1987, it came back. September 11, 2001, it came back. The Great Recession, 2008, it came back. And just within a few months of the COVID crash, it came back. So what do I need to do? Well, here's some tips to kind of really understand what I need to do. Here is why we're feeling this. Number one, we all experience high inflation, rising interest rates, and tensions in Europe. That causes panic and fear. People are selling out. And as we sell out, it creates a momentum for other people to sell out. But here is some other things to think about. COVID-19 is fading away. I know there's cases popping up here and there, but it's actually fading away. It's not going all over the media. Unemployment is actually falling. The unemployment rate is still remaining steady at 3.6. That's a lot different than all these other ones, where there was at one time 10% that was not working. And there's a lot of new industries that are growing, like the tech sector, e-commerce, biotech, gained a lot of ground during this time. So one, I encourage you, refuse to panic. What if I'm living off of this though, Andrew? Well, just think about this. Are you still able to afford your food, your utilities, your shelter, and transportation? Something to consider. Instead of cashing everything out, take out about 6 months to maybe 12 months and set it aside so that you know that this year is going to come, because in average, over time, all of this is going to take about 4 or 5 to 12 months to recover. The average recovery time is right about 1 year. And then stay with your plan, because if you stay invested, it's going to recover a lot faster unless you put it in under the mattress or in a bank. Well, I'm not going to lose anything. Honestly, yes, you are, because of the fact inflation is growing at 8%. Under that mattress, it's not. Those dollars that you put under the mattress is losing power to buy those utilities, that food, that shelter. And think about this: if I'm trying to build my wealth, right now is the best time to actually be investing, because you're buying things at a much lower price. It's really hard to see that you put money in and then it's gone away supposedly the next day. It's not gone away. The shares are still there. The value of those shares has always come back. It's worked 100% of the time. A lot of times it's just best, just like in anything in life, to take 4 steps back and see it from a larger picture. Today, I don't know what the market's going to do. The future say it's going to slip a little bit. It said that 2 or 3 days ago, and I was expecting it to go down again, but then it shot right back up. So we don't know that. But we do know that we've been through this before, and we always know that it has came back.
But if someone were to remove, where would they put it though? If everything's going down, if we take it out of one, where would they put it to make it do any better than just doing right now?
It all depends. If I am actually, again, it goes back, if I'm living off of this, one, if I'm building wealth, the worst thing you can do is take it out right now, because now you're guaranteed a loss. Mm-hmm. Right now, if you take it out, you're guaranteed a loss. If you start putting money in, if you continue the plan, you're buying things on sale. Okay, well, I'm living off of this. I did that a long time ago, and I'm living off of this now. So what should I do? If you take out, let's just say, 12 months of your living expenses. If, in other words, if I need $1,000 a month off of my retirement plan, what should I do to put that 12,000 months in? There are CDs, short-term bonds that are available. It's going to get you over 3.5%. That's not a lot, but it's a lot better than just sitting in cash and letting inflation eat it away. And then as you have that $12,000 sitting there that you're living off of, you keep 6 months in cash, you spend it, please, do spend it. That's what you made it for. And then that other one comes to you, and you've actually made a little bit of money on that. While the other big part of your plan that you didn't take out is actually healing itself as the market recovers. And that is a strategy that will actually keep you able to live off of that and not have to go back to work.
If everybody has more questions about that, how can they get in touch with you?
Area code 828-287-9197. 828-287-9197.
You're located on Charlotte Road there in Rufton.
In Rufton.
Rufton, that's right.
Yep. And come by anytime.
Andrew Tisdale, financial advisor with Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Always a pleasure to have you here on Tuesday mornings, and we look forward to continue giving us education on how best to use our money.
It's been a pleasure.
Have a good week.
You too.
I'll be back in just a moment.
New Fabulous Fortune is only for the bold. In my kingdom, we understand bold, like jousting. Rather bold, consuming 3 giant turkey legs. Very bold. And Fabulous Fortune, with the best odds to win $300 at a top prize of $3 million. Totally bold. Fabulous Fortune from the North Carolina Education Lottery. May thy boldness be rewarded. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.14. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's always a pleasure to have Andrew Tisdale in the Blue Room with us to talk about making sense of investing. If you have questions, you can reach him at 287-9197. My Great America with Jim and Butch, top of the hour, 9:05 this morning. We're coming off of Independence Day. We have still great things to talk about with My Great America and see what that's all about. Some of the stories from here and there we'll get to, in this, along with the sheriff's report. Down the road a ways from our neighbor, a Union woman is accused of setting a fire which killed her daughter and injured 3 others, including 2 firefighters, in November 2020. Set a fire that killed her daughter and 2 others. According to the Union Public Safety Department, 32-year-old Carleen Julie Ann Radcliffe has been charged with murder, homicide by child abuse, and 2 counts of first-degree arson. The fire happened at a home on 2nd Avenue around 5:40 p.m. back in November. Firefighters arrived at the scene to find a house engulfed in flames with fire coming out of the windows and the front door. According to warrants, the child's grandmother was grocery shopping when she returned home to find the house on fire. She suffered severe burns while attempting to rescue a child and was later flown to the JMS Burn Center in Augusta, Georgia. 2 firefighters were also burned trying to rescue the child. The child's 6-year-old Kaylee Radcliffe was sleeping inside the home when the fire started and died from smoke inhalation. Warrants stated that Carly Radcliffe set the fire and then left the home without seeking help. South Carolina Law Enforcement Division's Arson Unit and Child Fatality Unit, along with the State Fire Marshal's Office and the ATF, were brought in to assist with the investigation. As a result of the 18-month investigation, Union Pacific Safety charged Carleen Radcliffe in connection with the fire. Radcliffe is being held in the Union County Slammer without bond. Meanwhile, those of you who go to Oak Island may have known about this if you were there over the weekend. A North Carolina man drowned in the water off Oak Island, and a handful of other swimmers in the area required assistance Sunday. A news release from the town of Oak Island said responders arrived Sunday afternoon to find the 52-year-old from Hickory had been pulled to shore and bystanders were administering CPR. Emergency medical personnel performed resuscitation efforts for over 30 minutes before pronouncing the man dead. Sunday's deadly incident was among more than a half dozen calls for rescue in the Oak Island and Caswell Beach areas as of late Sunday afternoon. The water remained unsettled due to Tropical Storm Colin, and officials upgraded the beach warning system to a red flag, indicating a high risk of rip and longshore currents and dangerous surf conditions. The storm formed along the South Carolina coast on Saturday morning and by late Saturday night had weakened into a tropical depression. Beachgoers should stay out of the water as there is no safe water depth identified on red flag days, according to the town's news release. TV station WECT reported Sunday This drowning is the fourth at Oak Island this year. Meanwhile, over in Durham, authorities say a man was struck by lightning near Masonboro Island. WECT TV reports that the man was struck about 3:15 on Sunday afternoon. The New Hanover County Sheriff's Office responded with their Marine Unit, along with Wilmington Police Department's Marine Unit. A spokesperson for the Sheriff's Office said it's not clear whether the man was on the island or in a boat when he was struck. Deputies performed CPR on the man as they were taking him to Bradley Creek Marine to meet emergency medical personnel. He was taken to the hospital, but his condition could not be determined on Monday. Meanwhile, more local resident Jimmy Hamilton is honoring his late wife Dolores Hamilton by awarding scholarships to several students in the county. According to a story in the Daily Courier, Miss Hamilton was a pre-K teacher and loved giving back to children. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Jimmy lost his wife due to the virus. She was among the earlier deaths due to the coronavirus. Recipients of the scholarships are Tiana Stewart from RS Central, Josiah Smith from RS Central, Jamarian Mills from Chase, Camilla Flores from East Rutherford, and Kaylee Rippey from Chase. This marks the first year that the Dolores Freeman Hamilton Scholarship has taken place, with each student receiving $500. Hamilton said that since this was the first year the scholarship took place, it was open to anybody, but in the future he prefers to reward students pursuing a career in education like his late wife. Well, according to an article in the Daily Courier on Sunday, July 31st, area residents from different racial backgrounds will come together to worship at 11 a.m. at First United Methodist Church in Rutherford. This special service will be in the Fellowship Center and will be followed by lunch. It's called a special unity service. 7 churches or congregations will be participating, both black and white churches, said the Reverend In Young Lee of the First United Methodist. This event is sponsored by the Multi-Denominational Coalition of Clergy, a group that meets once each month. Lee said they're working to build a stronger community. When it comes to Rutherford County coming together in unity, building a more peaceful, loving, just community, Lee said, this is not the end of the story. Other efforts have been taken to build cross-cultural relationships. My view is that we're adding our efforts. This is our contribution. We affirm other reconciliation efforts that have come together before us. Other participating ministers will be the Reverend In Young Lee, host pastor, the Reverend Tim Marsh, First Baptist Rutherfordton, the Reverend Garen Hill, First Baptist Forest City, the Reverend Robert Godfrey, Hope in the City, the Reverend Wayne Roberts, the Source Ministry, the Reverend Pat Job, All Souls Community Church. Special offering will be received, which will be donated to the Grace of God Soup Kitchen in Forest City. Sheriff's Report coming up here again in just a moment right after this.
Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continue to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid 19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
Smith's Drugs of Forest City is offering the flu vaccines. You can walk in Monday through Friday or by appointment only on Saturdays. The Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers, if you need assistance registering your recall devices, you can call the Home Medical Department at 245-4591. And Smith's Drugs has a large selection of in-stock mastectomy bras, now half price. So come by our Home Equipment Department on West Main Street in Forest City. Smith's Drugs, 245-4591. Sign-up forms are now available for the Meet Me at the Fountain 5K race to be held on Saturday, July the 23rd. Go to smithsdrugsfc.com.
We're being kind today to Sherry Hageman, who had a birthday yesterday. He works at the Grace of God Rescue Mission. Now here is Sheriff Chris Francis with the Sheriff's Report.
During the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded 117 calls for service. There have been 10 arrests processed in county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 205. Among those arrested, Ronnie Keith Davis, 48-year-old male of Rutherford, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear felony, 2 counts of failure to appear misdemeanor, resist or obstruct delay, and received a $15,000 secured bond. Christopher James Hurt, 33-year-old male of Boston, was charged with assault on a female. We'll see district court judge for bond. Jennifer Nicole Whitley, 43-year-old female, was charged with resist or obstruct delay and received a $500 unsecured bond. Cecil Lee Henson Jr., 55-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with probation violation and resist or obstruct delay and received a $7,500 secured bond. Michael Wayne King, 41-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with communicating threats and assault law enforcement officers with a firearm, received no bond, and further charges are pending in that incident. Among our incidents, we had uttering counterfeit money. There were 3 businesses in Chimney Rock area. It appears like this money, false money, were $20 bills, and they were passed on Saturday. That was at Mountain Traders, Featherheads, and Chimney Rock Harley Davidson. Seems like small items were purchased, and they suspect received change at each of those locations. We had a B&E in larceny, Pine Mountain Church Road in Bostic. Looks like it was to a building. There was $200 in U.S. currency that was taken. We had a B&E in larceny on Sunset Memorial Road. Forest City, it was a black toolbox, 4x4, had Ryobi drill, Craftsman wrench set, and miscellaneous tools that was taken in that incident. We had looks like a larceny on Cove Road where 2 weed eaters, a Shoemaker battery, and charger, and some car parts, including an alternator and hand tools, were taken. And we also had the assault on law enforcement officers communicating threats there on Byers Road in Forest City. Last night, deputies responded at approximately 8:30 p.m. to 371 Byers Road. Michael Wayne King confronted law enforcement officers, went inside his residence, and came out with what was believed to be a shotgun, firing at the deputies. Deputies returned fire, but no one was hit on either side. We were able to talk him out of the house and get him to surrender shortly thereafter with, again, no further injuries. I believe he might have sustained a small cut. There was a lot of broken glass, but he was treated on the scene by EMS and then taken to the sheriff's office for processing. Again, we'll be confronted with the district attorney's office today for future charges on Michael Wayne King, who did shoot at law enforcement last night. But that's why I had to get Independence Day, because no deputy was hurt, and his injuries were minor. So we were blessed for sure. Get him in custody. Great police work without any further injuries.
Hey! Mickey Sudo ate 40 hot dogs to win the women's competition. This is NCN Sports.
Agriculture drives our local economy. I'm Lee Ivey, Director of the Agricultural Institute at NC State University, and we are looking for our next generation of innovative leaders. If you want to make a difference and believe in feeding the world, join us at the Ag Institute, where we grow successful graduates, whether from a rural background or not. Our degrees include hundreds of internships and networking. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities. Learn more at cows.ncsu.edu/AGI.
Spring and the onset of summer increases the likelihood of thunderstorms. Alternative Power, your North Carolina Generac service provider, reminds you to stay alert. As a thunderstorm approaches, get out of boats and away from water. If you're caught outdoors, find a low spot away from trees, fences, and poles. Alternative Power guards homes against extended power outages with the Generac automatic standby generator. Alternative Power, North Carolina's Generac experts. See more at alternativepower.com.
In baseball yesterday, Brian De La Cruz hit a 2-run homer off the foul pole in the 10th inning to keep the Marlins' domination of the Nationals going with a 3-2 win. The Marlins have beat the Natties for the 12th time in 13 meetings this year. Luis Arraez hit 3 hits, including a tie-breaking RBI single in Minnesota's 4-run 10th inning as the Twins beat the White Sox 6-3. The AL Central contenders faced off hours after a gunman opened fire on an Independence Day parade in suburban Chicago, killing at least 6 people. The White Sox talked to Major League Baseball about postponing the game, but it went on as scheduled. Meanwhile, there were some cheers for the Star-Spangled Banner before USA Basketball's game in Cuba on July 4th. Xavier Munford scored 24 points as the U.S. defeated Cuba 87-64 last night to close the first round of qualifying for next year's Basketball World Cup. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
We are watching a ridge of high pressure in the upper atmosphere to develop over Arkansas. That's going to direct some greater heat our way and also perhaps direct some thunderstorms our way starting on Wednesday. Now, later this afternoon, the high in the low 90s. It's just an isolated thunderstorm possible, and if we do see any, they could last into the early evening. The low tonight in the low to mid 70s. Hotter for Wednesday. Right now, we're going to go mid 90s with a good chance for storms later in the day that could be strong. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
It's cloudy this morning. Will be cloudy pretty much all day today. We might get a few peaks out of sun, but there are some thunderstorms developing as well. Every day this week, we may have some of those pop-up thunderstorms, but it may create some rain, more rain for us. Right now it's 73 degrees here at WCAB in Rupton. Hey, you know, you could do your belly a real favor this morning by going to eat breakfast at Scrappy's Food and Fuel. 221 in Chase High Road. If you like a good breakfast with those cat head biscuits, some sausage and bacon, plenty of coffee, why don't you go by Scrappy's Food and Fuel? Now, if you're ready already for lunch, you'd certainly want to try their menu for chicken salad, homemade chicken salad, mouth-watering hamburgers and hot dogs, hand-breaded chicken tenders and onion rings, pasta salad. Got a great menu for breakfast and lunch, and they're good friends to get acquainted with. Locally owned, and you'll find them willing and able to help you have an enjoyable meal. Ask about those homemade brownies, too. They're doing homemade brownies there at Scrappy's Food and Fuel. Great place. I recommend them highly. I know there are folks that drive long ways to get to Tony's Produce because he has the freshest of fresh fruits and vegetables. Watermelons, spring onions, half-runners, okra, squash, zucchini, corn, fresh organic milk and eggs, jams and jellies, local honey, and now in local peaches. Also fresh homemade cakes, sourdough bread, banana nut bread, fudge, and more. And all is made fresh weekly by local Mennonite ladies. Fast and friendly hometown service. That's Tony's Produce, North Washington Street in Rutherford. Bologna sausage, homemade pimento cheese, nectarines, on and on we could go. People drive miles to get to Tony's because they know it's going to be the best of the best. Fresh, almost like he goes out back and pulls it off the vine. It's so fresh. All right, some more news from here and there. I don't know how these supposedly sophisticated academic universities can stoop as low as some of them are stooping. But Cornell University is wanting to cancel Abraham Lincoln because he's a racist. Do they not know history? Do they not know what Abraham Lincoln did? The nitwits and historical illiterates who run the Cornell University Library have eliminated Abraham Lincoln because woke students think he's a racist. Worse, the people running the library seem to have collapsed after only one person whined about it. One person whined about it. Abraham Lincoln is a racist. So they want to cancel Abraham Lincoln out of the library. The news came from Cornell biology professor Randy Wayne, who discovered that the library had eliminated its bust of Civil War-era President Abraham Lincoln and a display of the Gettysburg Address. It's been there since I can remember, he told the College Fix. He asked the librarians about it, and they had no details to provide except to say it was removed after some sort of complaint. It's been replaced with, well, nothing. The walls are white, according to photos they took for the paper. The bust and plaque had been on display at the library since at least 2013. On June 23, Wayne emailed Cornell University President Martha Pollack asking about the display. Martha Pollack said, quote, "I am wondering if you are aware that the bust of Abraham Lincoln purchased by Ezra Cornell and the bronze plaque of the Gettysburg Address that was beside it has been removed from the RMC and Kroc Library and replaced with nothing. If you are aware, can you tell me why? Thanks," end quote. Well, President Martha Pollack has not responded to him, according to the Fix. The President's Office and Cornell Media Affairs has also not responded to repeated email requests over the last week from the College Fix, as well as a phone call Monday regarding the whereabouts of the Gettysburg Address, plaque, and Lincoln bust, and why they were removed. Well, once again, we see a hardcore left-wing university doing its level best to destroy American history. One complaint, and they remove it from the library. Would you want to send your money, invest your money for your student at a place like that when they want to erase history and distort the facts of history? I wouldn't, but more and more of them are doing it. That's why I'm really thankful for small private universities and colleges. One of them I can recommend is Georgetown College in Georgetown, Kentucky, oldest Baptist college west of the Alleghenies. Not caught up in all that wokeness. Well, here's another interesting story that makes your blood want to boil this morning. The White House has been caught directing abortion lovers to an organization that helps show teenage girls how to avoid parental notification laws in their state. According to Real Clear Politics, Philip Wegeman, the Biden Department of Health and Human Services, is sending people to abortionfunder.org. One of the things that the group does is show teenage girls how to avoid telling their parents that they're getting an abortion. Yeah. The White House is directing abortion lovers to that organization so they can teach teenage girls how to avoid telling their parents that they're getting an abortion. All these things going on around the nation, and our White House is teaching kids how to defy their parents and do something that's not right. Well, our very favorite Disney World, Disneyland, Walt Disney would flip over his grave if he were alive today, if he knew about this today. Disney thought it would be a great idea to bend and adopt the LGBTQ plus agenda even more than they already have over the recent years. As many know, Disney had been participating in Pride Month for quite some time, but they have decided to up the ante as revealed by the leaked tapes of executive producer at Disney about its not at all secret gay agenda. So when Disney announced that they would be releasing a new Buzz Lightyear movie, all eyes were on what could be in store for the beloved character. If you're not aware, Lightyear is the story of Toy Story's Buzz Lightyear, the character who's been voiced by Tim Allen. But they wouldn't give him that job this year back because Tim is conservative and not into all his wokeness, so they didn't give him the job. Somebody else got it. But much to everyone's surprise, Tim Allen was not part of the new Lightyear movie, and everyone wants to know why. Daily Wire reported that in 1995, Disney Pixar picked the TV star and stand-up comedian to be the voice in The Adventure of a Lifetime with toy cowboy Woody, voiced by Tom Hanks. With those movies, they worked together to get back to the kid, a young child named Andy. The two would reprise their fourth film in the Toy Story franchise. So when Pixar announced in 2020 that our origin film would hit theaters about the man behind the voice, it was not the last man standing star, Tim Allen, who has been openly right-wing. They said he would not be the voice. The woke actor tweeted at the time, "I don't even have the words." And just to be clear, this isn't Buzz Lightyear, the toy. This is the origin story of the human Buzz Lightyear that the toy is based on. There has been no official comment from Disney about the change. However, the movie's director and producer pushed back at criticism and have shared that they wanted an actor who had the gravitas to play a serious character for this space journey to the animated film for children. Quote, "People were having a hard enough time wrapping their heads around this," producer Galen Sussman stated, according to the Wrap. "So really we needed the toy and the Toy Story universe to be its own thing. Tim Allen is Buzz Lightyear the toy. Chris Evans is Buzz Lightyear the superhero from the movie that inspired the toy. We all know the reason they didn't pick Tim, because of the woke gay theme. Tim will not be rewarded for his conservative values, period. He's losing jobs because of his conservative values. The good news is that the movie is a massive flop so far. Lightyear made its way to theaters last weekend, and the result can only be described as a total disaster. Please stop trying to indoctrinate our kids, Disney. Go back to family entertainment and stop trying to indoctrinate our kids into the gay lifestyle. Just make movies that are fun, not ones that are trying to turn everybody gay. Do the thing Walt Disney wanted you to do to start with. Well, over 1 million U.S. voters, maybe this is one of the reasons this is happening. Over 1 million U.S. voters in 43 states have fled the Democratic Party since 2021 and registered as Republicans, according to the report. Over 1 million. Over 1 million. Republicans have gained major ground in suburban counties, according to the voter registration data examined by the Associated Press, as well as in virtually every region of the country. The findings come almost 4 months before the midterm elections in November, which a bipartisan swath of pundits has deemed a probable red wave, in part due to messaging failures among the left. Andy Subarian, a Republican strategist, told the Daily Caller News Foundation, while Democrats may see a slight enthusiasm bump following the Supreme Court's decision on abortion, it's highly unlikely they'll be able to sustain that for the next 5 months. Data for roughly 1.7 million voters who switched political parties was analyzed by the AP. The data, which according to the outlet comes from the political firm L2, reportedly shows that around 2/3 of the 1.7 million voters became Republicans, while only about 630,000 became Democrats. Biden's support in the suburbs has been widely credited as a reason for his success in the 2020 presidential election. While these areas have tended to show a net advantage to Republicans, Biden registered a net Democratic advantage for the first time since Barack Obama's victory in 2008. As the Supreme Court has been wrapping up its decision in case of Kennedy versus Bremerton School District, and a landmark in the American principle of religious freedom and free speech, and a groundbreaking decision, the court ruled in favor of a former high school football coach who prayed in public after games, and he lost his job over it. The 6-3 decision was unambiguous. The free exercise and free speech clause of the First Amendment protect an individual engaging in a personal religious observance from government reprisal. The Constitution neither mandates nor permits the government to express such religious expression. Justice Gorsuch wrote the opinion and was joined by Chief Justice John Roberts and Justices Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. Justice Stephen Breyer, Sonia Sotomayor, and Alina Kagan dissented. The case revolved around Joseph Kennedy, a former high school football coach. You remember the story. In the Bremerton School District in Washington State, Kennedy had a practice of praying after school games at the 50-yard line, and students would sometimes join him. The school asked him to stop in order to prevent the school from a lawsuit due to a violation of the Establishment Clause. See, they funnel this information they keep feeding that information that you're against the law if you do that. Well, that's not true, folks. The school argued that Kennedy's decision to pray violated the Constitution's prohibition against government endorsement of religion. See, they're making their own rules as they go, and we're not bold enough to say that's not what that Constitution says. That's not what the Constitution means. However, Kennedy refused to stop praying, which resulted in many students and parents from the community rallying around him. So Bremerton public school officials then removed him from his job because he would not bow to them in their wishes. Kennedy then sued the school district, arguing it violated his First Amendment right of free exercise of religion and Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Which prohibits employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. District Court ruled in favor of the school district, but Kennedy appealed, and the case got passed up the chain and eventually landed in the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court came down on his side. Throughout the case, Kennedy's side has argued that he was praying not in his capacity as a coach employed by the school district, but as a private citizen. As such, the school's insistence that he stop praying was a violation of his First Amendment right to engage in private religious expression. When the school district fired him for that fleeting religious exercise out of endorsement concerns, it not only violated the First Amendment, but it ignored a veritable wall of this court's procedures that make clear that a school does not endorse private religious speech just because it fails to censor it. Kennedy also argued that coaches are role models, and students seeing their mentors model private religious exercise can be beneficial without coercive. Prohibiting such religious conduct is an expression of hostility toward religion, he argued. Well, anyway, the Supreme Court ruled in his favor, so so that's what you have to do. You have to be bold enough to fight the battle. They can distort the Constitution any way they want to, such as a separation of church and state thing. They've distorted that for years, and we've swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. Second Amendment, they distorted all those things. We've swallowed all that hook, line, and sinker. But there are enough people like this fella Kennedy, Coach Kennedy, just says, I'm not going to swallow that anymore. I know my rights. And so he did. So the Supreme Court handed a big win to him who lost his job over reciting a prayer on the 50-yard line. So he is a hero to me today because he was willing to stand up for the fight. It's 8:45. Here's more stuff that I want you to hear that's important. Are you tired of waiting for weeks and months to get an appointment with your primary care provider? Or looking for a primary care provider that spends 30 minutes with you instead of just 10? There's one right here in our area. Brock Family Care, located at 289 Shallow Road in Forest City. Brock Family Care provides primary health care and urgent care services for you and your family, as well as coordinate care between hospitals and specialty care. They don't accept insurance, but they have a unique pricing model that should be pleasing to everyone. Check them out at www.brockfamilycare.com or simply call 828-382-7282.
Bostic Florist now has a showroom full of gorgeous home decor. Now available, stylish lamps, a new line of candles called Root Candles, wreaths, beautiful lifelike artificial flowers and plants, and so much more. And of course, they always have been and will be your local hometown friendly florist that can deliver some of the most beautiful arrangements. Or if you have an event coming up, call on Bostic Florist. They have trained professionals to help make your day special. Whatever it is, they're located at 196 North Main Street in Bostic. Saving money is easy when you shop at Jay's Discount Grocery. From snack foods to vegetables, fresh fruits to fresh cut meats, paper products, cleaning supplies, dog food, and so much more. You know, you just never know what you'll find at Jay's. So shop and save today. They're located at 671 Oak Street in Forest City, right beside the Hospice Resale Store. You know, when you shop at Jay's, you always walk out with money left over in your pocket.
You tell it, Lou. You tell it. 8:46 on this Tuesday morning, a day after Independence Day. We celebrate all week. We should celebrate all week the independence of America. Should celebrate all week the greatness of America. Speaking of greatness of America, be sure to stay tuned for My Great America with Jim and Butch, 9:05 this morning, as we continue to celebrate the greatness of our country. In spite of all its scars and blemishes and its crazy things that are happening out there, like this crazy woman here. I mean, I don't mean to call her crazy, but I guess I really did mean to. Vice President Kamala Harris was speaking at the National Association of Latino elected and appointed officials at a hotel in Chicago, Illinois, June 24th. I want you to listen to what she said and see if it makes any sense to you. It did not make sense to me, and I read it 2 or 3 times and still didn't make sense to me. Vice President Kamala Harris urged parents on Monday to think about what the Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe v. Wade means for the son. She says, if you are a parent of sons, now this is the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade. She says, if you're a parent of a son, think about what SCOTUS overturning Roe v. Wade means for the life of your son. Think about what SCOTUS overturning Roe v. Wade means for the life of your son. Do think about it in context of the fact that they wrote this decision. This is Kamala Harris talking, including concurring opinions that suggest that other rights, such as the freedom to make decisions about when you were going to start a family, the freedom and the right to make decisions about contraceptions, IUDs, what this is going to mean in terms of fertilization. And as we think about it, she says everyone has something at risk on this. First of all, if you're a parent of son, do think about what this means for the life of your son and what it will mean in terms of the choices he will have about making abortion legal and encouraging kill babies up to the time of birth, how that what means for the life of your son. I've not understood much of what she said every time she speaks, but that's probably one of them. All right, let's see what else we got. I thought this was really, these are people in important position making millions of dollars on television, so-called news anchors, news people. ABC's Ana Navarro, I don't watch ABC, NBC, CBS, except on rare occasions. I'm not sure who this woman is, but she obviously is up the line pretty good. Leftist Ana Navarro, who sometimes poses as a GOP strategist on ABC's The View, shocked CNN audiences on Friday when she hinted that she supports abortion to kill off autistic and mentally challenged people like those in her own family. She supports abortion to kill off autistic and mentally challenged people. The morally challenged hardcore leftist Navarro, who also claims to be Catholic, was invited as a guest onto CNN's newsroom and was asked about her position on Friday's overturning of Roe v. Wade. She began with the idiotic left-wing talking point de jour, saying that she is struck by the contrast that the SCOTUS passed down a ruling saying that our Second Amendment rights are a federal issue and shall not be infringed, but abortion rights is now being sent back. It is a state rights issue. This is an ill-informed and frankly stupid talking point. The right to bear arms is listed by name in the Constitution. There is no right to abortion anywhere in the document. But that is the least of her stupidity in this CNN interview. She next went on to say that abortion is good and she wished her own relatives had been aborted. Or she may as well said it that way because she insisted that abortion is useful to kill off babies with mental development issues and other handicaps. Well, what a wonderful little eugenics queen you are, Anna. If you don't want to watch this disgusting person, here's what she said. And I am not anybody to tell you what you need to do with your life or your uterus, she snapped. And because I have a family with a lot of special needs kids, I have a brother who's 57 and has the mental and motor skills of a 1-year-old. And I know what that means financially, emotionally, physically for a family, and I know not all families can do it. And I have a step-granddaughter who was born with Down's syndrome. And you know what? It is very difficult in Florida to get services. It is not as easy as it sounds on paper, and I've got another step-grandson who is very autistic, who has autism. Mothers and people in that society, that community, will tell you that they've considered suicide because that's how difficult it is to get help, because that's how lonely they feel, because they can't get their jobs, because they have financial issues, because of the care they are unable to give that other child. So she thinks it's all right to abort babies that are going to be autistic. She went on to claim that she could compartmentalize her Catholic beliefs away from her political support for abortion. She said, so why can't I be Catholic and still think it's a wrong decision? Because I'm an American. I'm Catholic inside the church. I'm Catholic when it comes to me, but there's a lot of Americans who are not Catholic, and they're not Christians, and they're not Baptists, she said. You have no right to tell them, except she used an explicative in there, have no right to tell them what they should do with their bodies. Nobody does have that right. Lastly, equitable. The nitwit has spent years doing TV interviews. Hasn't she learned not to have a bright light in the room behind her while on camera she's doing a remote interview? She is absolutely way out on the left field, thinking she's an expert on human life because somebody was born autistic, and she said, oh, it's all right, go ahead and kill him. Roy Feek would not say that. He's got an autistic young lady, beautiful young lady. A lot of people who have autistic children or children with imperfect bodies love them and glad they have them. But this woman says, oh, it's all right, go ahead and kill them. And they were in important positions, making millions of dollars, anchoring TV shows, and giving their opinion on programs like The View. Wasting time to watch, but some people do. All right, I about run out of juice back here. My coffee pot's empty. My water jug's warmed up. My voice is running out. And Butch is waiting to get in.